Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Market Your Journey. We have a very interesting individual here. Her name is Suhani. She studied in India, subsequently came to United States. You will have time to introduce herself, Suhani. But she came to US, studied at Emerson College, and she is working with Geo7 since at San Francisco. She's currently the global director. Thank you, Suhani, for joining us and being a part of our journey.
Thanks for having me on this podcast. I'm really excited to chat with you folks for the next 30 minutes or so and share my journey. Hopefully, it helps other people and just, looking forward to this.
Perfect. So let's jump in with the question and answer session that we have for you. So my first question would be, would you be able to elaborate your journey from India to United States of America, and how do you feel it has changed you as a person?
Great. Yeah, sure. So to start off, my journey to the US is very well led because of my professional career. So I think I'll just give you a quick overview about my career. I have been involved in the marketing and advertising industry for good 10 years in one form or another, right? Whether it's as a student and everything. And this journey started back in 2008 when I started my undergrad course in media studies. So that's when I was first introduced to the world of marketing communication and everything. And from then, like you mentioned, I did start. I am born and raised in India, and I did graduate from Symbiosis University in Pune. And after that, I ended up working in India for 2 years in Mumbai at an experiential marketing agency. And after 5 years of understanding marketing and everything, I there came a point where, not just from a professional point of view, but from a personal point of view as well, I was looking for a life defining experience, I would say. And spoke to my parents, spoke to my family, like my family and colleagues and mentors, and we realized that a good next step in my journey would be to pursue a master's degree. And Like I said, that it wasn't only because I felt I needed a degree from a marketing perspective. It was also about where am I going to get that real life experience of meeting people, new culture and everything. And that's when I narrowed down to US as a country for me to select. And I moved to US in 2013 to Boston. I did my master's from Emerson College, and I knew that I enjoy the marketing field. So I wasn't really looking for, hey, I need a new career path or something. I wasn't looking for a detour. So I did my master's in integrated marketing communication itself, and I stuck around in that industry. So that's how I moved from India to US. After master's, I got a job at then formerly known as Savin. Now the company is called Geo7 in the Big Apple. So I got to move to New York City, and I worked in New York City for 3 years. And another opportunity came up that made me move from New York City from one coast to another, and now I'm in San Francisco. So it's been a very interesting journey from India till here. A lot of cities involved, a lot of people involved in making this journey happen and supporting me. But that's my journey so far and how it's been. To your second question of how it's changed me, I think uh, 10 years changes you a lot. So for sure, a lot of things have changed. But one really important aspect that I feel that, which is using marketing jargon, the ROI, my ROI on this whole journey has been that I got a chance to be exposed to a lot of people from different walks of life, different countries and everything. One of the best part about my batch at Emerson College was we were a very multicultural batch. We had a lot of people from a lot of places, and that not only helped shape who I am as an individual right now, but because of that experience, I'm very sensitive to a lot of different segment of people. And because of that experience, I'm able to even make a lot of rounded decisions in marketing, because at the end of it, as a marketer, you're not trying to make decisions basis what you think would work. It's about what your user will understand. And that's why this whole empathy
Right.
towards user, empathy towards individuals that you're talking to and everything, I think it comes from everywhere and anywhere. And for me, that was a huge part. And I think personally, where I've changed, or what my experience and how I've changed because of this experiences, somewhere I've become bicultural. Like there's this always this whole thing, right? 8 years in US and before that in India, like which culture do you really fit in? But I take that as a strength because I get to bring in multiple perspectives, right? It's not restricted to just one country or just one culture. I get to bring in that. It's become easier for me to adapt to things as well, right? Because it's a huge thing. You just leave, pack your bags one day and
Correct.
move across continents and everything. So it's been a very interesting, it's been a very fulfilling and evolving journey for me so far.
It's
You know,
quite
you made a very
exciting.
sharp point when you said you met a lot of people from different cultures. Because personally, I also feel, you know, unless and until you don't meet people from different cultures, you don't know where the world is going. You can be stuck in your own cocoon, but that doesn't work. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So moving forward, Suhani, since you talked about the different cultures, moving into different culture. So since you graduated from India, you did your graduation from India and then you did your post graduation from US. So what are the differences in particular in terms of course, one would be the cultural differences for sure. How has the working environment changes that you have actually seen when you compare it from India to States?
That's an interesting question, but a comparison which I feel is a very unfair comparison because personally I did my undergrad there, and like you mentioned, I did my postgrad here, right? Uh, the requirements of both degrees courses are very different, right? So yes, we always keep saying that India is a very theoretical, the education system is all about theory and less practical, and versus US. But I feel that while doing an undergrad course, when I'm just introduced to this whole new concept, that was really important. Having your fundamentals, the theory of it, having a very deep understanding of it was really important. And because I had such a strong foundational theoretical understanding of things, I was able to expand on that when I moved to US, right? And yes, US was a lot about hands-on experiences, case studies, working on projects and everything. But I think I was very lucky to get a similar experience even back in India, because my college did have, like, before I graduated, I had 4 internships which I had to do or else I could not graduate as well, right? So that's the thing. And I think a huge part uh, for this is also because of the uh, kind of structure. Like marketing itself demands that, right? Marketing itself
Yeah,
is not, yes, there are philosophy, there are marketing philosophies, there are theories, but what I love about marketing in general is that there's no right or wrong. You may literally take up the
Right.
same uh, campaign strategy that has been executed and successful, replicate it, and it might fail for you, right? So that's why I
exactly.
think, yeah, so that's why I think both, like from an education point of view, I might be a wrong person if someone who's done, like, masters in both the places might be able to make a direct comparison. But for me, it was different, there's no denying that, but I got what I needed from both the places at that point. My undergrad was more theory, my postgrad was a lot more real life examples.
So, Anish, my next question to you would be: I was just looking at your LinkedIn profile, you know, stalking you as they say on LinkedIn, and I kind of got this feeling that you chose this very interesting subject called marketing communication. Why did you choose that subject, and you know, how do you think it will lead you ahead of people, and how it has been so far?
Yeah. So truth be told, I joined when I decided that I want to pursue a degree in media. It was with the thought that I want to be a journalist. So that's that. When I
Okay.
started, I was like, yeah, this is it. This is what I want to do. But through the whole course, the first, second year in my college, I was exposed to multiple aspects of both mass media and marcom, right? So mass communication and marketing communication. And what I realized was my interests lie in the latter. I am interested in marketing communication. And why I chose that subject, I think it's a lot to do with the fact that as an Indian kid growing up in India, like, we love ads. Like, heck, we have some amazing creative ads growing up, you know, that we would enjoy. It's not just the show in between, we would wait for those ads. And now when I'm sitting in that college, when I'm sitting in that class, I'm suddenly being taught to think in a way of not just looking at the final piece, but what was the person sitting behind the screen thinking while approving this, or while scripting this, or while writing this, right? And this whole idea that marketing communication goes beyond, much beyond just ads, right? It's a complex, it's there's a lot that goes
Correct.
into that whole thing. So I think that's how I got into it. I realized that I have an interest. I also realized that I have a knack for this particular field, because I've always been a person who's very interested in knowing the why. Why is this person doing thinking this way? If a consumer is reacting in a certain way, why would they have done that, right? If a consumer reads an ad or reads any of my communication, why will they do it? Why will they click on it? Why will they not click on it, and everything? So the whole idea of, like, in as a marketing jargon, we usually use consumer behavior. That's something that I was always very interested in, and stars aligned. And I realized that luckily I was already on the right path with my undergrad, and then I continued pursuing it further as well. So that's how I got into marketing communication. How it's helped me, I think I'm one of those few lucky ones that um, I've stuck on this journey. My first foot into the path was the right path. I know a lot of people, their first choice is not marketing, but they eventually realize that this is their interest, and they take that detour, and they decide they want to do this. I have been involved in it from the very beginning. And no, I'm not saying that this is a disadvantage for anyone else who's trying to, consider doing a marketing degree, or consider just doing a job, taking up a job in marketing. But personally, where it's helped me is that my fundamentals are very strong, right? Like, I was taught marketing
Right.
not from a medium perspective. I wasn't taught, or I didn't learn more than being taught. Like, when I first started absorbing marketing as a field, it was not like, hey, I want to do digital marketing, hey, I want to do social marketing, hey, I want to do this. It was more at a generalist level of understanding. I always say, like, from a first principles point of view, I got a chance to explore marketing, and then figure out what else there, what do you want to do, because marketing in every single company, in every single organization is very different, right? So there's no clear thing. So my journey and in a way, my education in Marcom itself has just helped me to have a very strong foundation, is what I would say.
Some of the very interesting points in terms of how you got into the marketing and how you explored it, and how you look forward to in order to for the future trends for sure. So talking about the future trends, my next question would be, you talk about digital or the ad. It has been Geo7 has been in a product marketing way where they actually try to get people on their platform. So talking about it, how do you see the upcoming trends, especially in the OTT section, as we talk about the Geo7, and in the form of ad product marketing?
Sure. So I personally, at Geo7 at this point, I'm leading the ad product marketing team. And the reason, like, product PMM is usually the role that people might be more aware of, the product marketing. But specifically, what I'm looking at is the trade marketing stuff. So we have, obviously, Geo7 as a platform is for consumers, wherein you come, and for, like, as you would know, that Geo7 is the leading digital music streaming app, digital audio streaming app for South Asians globally, right? And we have 100 million plus users that we cater to right now. And so there is obviously that aspect of consumers who listen to our app, but we are also a publisher for advertisers, right? So we do have a key stakeholder for us, our brands who are trying to connect with our audience, in a very innovative and creative way. So that's the particular product that my team and I, from a PMM point of view, we market. From what do we see as a future trend, or just not even in distant future, it's immediately, for that matter, is just the prominence and value of a PMM role, right? a lot of people for the longest time would not even know what a product marketing role is, right? So now companies have started, and it's not just tech companies. Lot of companies have understood the importance of why a PMM role and why it's important in the whole, and how it sits at the nexus of a product, sales, and marketing role, right? So the prominence and just awareness about that role has increased, and the value of that role within organizations has increased a lot, and that you'll see a lot more in the near future as well, that it's just not one or two people in the team who are just working in silos per se, but at a business level, from revenue metrics point of view, also the role of a PMM, whether it's from a GTM strategy, a go-to-market strategy that we are talking about, right, or sales enablement, how it's increased a lot. That's something I think will be really interesting to see, of how this role expands and makes it ways into many organizations.
I feel, you're absolutely correct when you're saying that this would be the trend now, especially with this pandemic everywhere around the world. And this would be people who would be sitting at home and you want to watch something, you want to hear something. And these are the platforms that will be on that you will be watching and listening on. Now, we were talking about Geo7. Looking at the situation around the world today, how is Geo7, coping up with the situations, or has it affected you guys in any way? Because you are a digital company anyways. You are a completely digital company. Has it affected you in any ways, or it's the same for you guys?
I think it'll be a lie if any single person right now says that the current pandemic has not affected them. The way it's affected people, yes, that varies absolutely. And the way it's affected companies, it varies. So has it affected us? Yes, it has affected us. A lot of our normal day-to-day routine doesn't look the same, right? But I would say where we are thankful, where we are also very lucky, and where we are glad that this is the business that we are in, is the fact that people are actually leaning towards music and podcasts to get through this time, right? People
Right.
are actually leaning it, whether it's just like soundtracking their routines, right? A lot of people have started working out a lot. So whether it's that, while you're doing dishes, everyone hates doing dishes. A lot of people that might have never even done dishes in the past and they were forced to do it. So now there's some music, a playlist for them to make it more fun for them and everything, right? So somewhere I think it motivates us more, that, and what we are working on, the product that we have, the thing, every day-to-day thing that we do is actually helping people, is actually putting a smile on people's face, or if even if they want to be sad, we're being companions to them in that moment as well. So whatever the life moments are of highs, lows, and everything, especially during this pandemic, we were able to help. And we did see streaming numbers, user numbers did increase for us overall, because yes, more and more people are streaming. More and more people are also looking for screen-free moments, because how long? Yes, initially we all were like, let's be glued, let's binge watch everything that's possible. But
Yeah.
after a point, during work, you're looking at screens, then for your entertainment also, you're looking at screens. So that as well overall has worked. And it's like our CEO always uses this term that music is power. We got to see that in real life in the last 4 to 5 months, that there is power every single day, that the work that we do affects the users, and that's a huge responsibility. But it's motivating us to work harder to serve and hold true to our values and the product experience that we want to give them.
I must thank Geo7 because I have been a paid member of Geo7 since past 4 5 years. I think 3 years now, and honestly, I enjoy Geo7 more than Spotify. A lot of people enjoy Spotify, but trust me, for me, I'm a Hindi music guy lover, and Geo7 is my savior whenever I'm traveling, because I can download songs and watch everything. You know,
That's great. Glad to hear that.
before we end this whole conversation and chat, I just wanted to, ask you if you could, close by saying few inspiring words for the budding marketeers out there. How to cope up with the situation, how's the market, and you know, uh, what all things they should do to prepare themselves for the future?
Sure. So I think there are a couple of things that I can. First, I feel that I might have a lot more to learn from the younger folks and the newer folks as well, because hey, marketing has nothing to do with, like, you've done this degree, that's it, you're an expert. Every single day is a new learning thing. But I'm humbled for this opportunity to share a few thoughts on this. And personally, this is how these are two really important things that I believe in. First is the biggest quality that you can have as a marketer is empathy, right? And if this current time has taught us anything, is that being empathetic in just general as an individual is so important. And so when it comes to marketing, it's even more important. So if that's something that you've always read on posts, or you've always heard about the concept, it's really important that you inculcate that particular thought process, that particular emotion in everything that you do today, right? Anything and every decision you take as a marketer has to stream from just having a basic empathy towards the people that you're targeting, right? That's the main thing. And second advice that I will give to a lot of people, because I've gone through this personally as well, and there are times I still go through, is that
Right.
marketing as an industry, new philosophies, new technology, things pop up left, right, and center every single day. And it can be very daunting for sure. But what you've got to realize is that it's the attitude when you're put across an opportunity or a problem challenge. How do you look at it? That defines whether you will be able to solve it or not. So there's a Richard Branson quote that I personally really believe in, which is that if someone gives you an opportunity and you do not know how to do it, say yes and then figure out how to do it. And the reason why that really, while it applies in everything that we do in life, anything, why it really applies with marketing as well, is a lot of times you will feel that, oh, I don't know this, I don't know that, I don't know this platform, I don't know that platform, I don't know how to run ads here or anything. The bottom line is that you can learn all of it. But the basic question is, as a marketer, what you do, that doesn't change. Channels may change, objectives may change, and everything will change. But what you're supposed to do as a marketer and how you're supposed to connect with your audience, that will not. So don't feel afraid and don't feel that, oh, I don't know this. I haven't done a course on digital ads, or I haven't done a course on social media marketing. It's fine. You can do it. If an opportunity comes, just say yes. And trust me, there's enough content online. There are enough marketers like me who've gone through this, who'll help you out through this journey. Just say yes and do it. That's it. And it might feel that the pandemic and finding a job and everything, all of that, but when we hire, especially when I hire, I look at people who have the passion to solve a problem, because I know if they have the passion to solve the problem, they'll figure out a solution to solve it somehow. So just keep that spirit, and
Absolutely.
I hope it helps.
You know,
Thank you
it
so
has
much for
it has been some
inspiring
inspiring
words.
lines
And
by.
yeah,
Well, I'm glad you found them inspiring.
Yeah, for sure, especially for us and for the all the young marketers out there, for sure, it has been something which is inspiring and to look up to, for sure.
That's great. Thank you.
So I think so,
then
Kabir,
we would like to, yeah, we
you
would
know,
like to thank you for being a part of this journey, being accepting our invitation for Shreyas and me. And it's a great honor to have you at Market Your Journey.
The pleasure was
yeah,
all.
it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
It is really a pleasure.
That's great. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
I
much,
enjoyed
Suhani.
that
Thank you for
chat,
your insight.
and
Thank
congrats
you so
again
much.
for this podcast journey that you've started. And I hope this is successful for the two of you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, Suhani.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.